You ever watch one of those videos on TikTok about a dog fostering a kitten? So have DreamWorks. The Wild Robot is about a robot that crash lands on a beach and finds this forest filled with all these magical fun creatures who it tries to befriend by helping them with various tasks, because it's just made to do tasks. Mostly like gardening in some big dome somewhere. I don't know what kind of dystopian shit's going on here, and it's not important. However, it is the first step in a totalitarian society. Some people, some corporation sending a big robot to come help us like we need that. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. You have a dangerous bear and some possums that are basically from over the hedge. Some raccoons that are pretty much from a Marvel movie. And a fox that's definitely from Zootopia. And yet somehow this manages to be the most original thing created in a lot of years by any animation company. Our friendly robot meets this all-star cast of critters. I didn't even realize some of them were played by as famous people as they were. That fox did not sound like Pedro Pascal. Is that just me that thinks that? It doesn't matter. She helps them all, raises a child, and then gets all of their homes burned down in her refusal to just do her damn job. I tell you, these robots can't be trusted, man. The most magical thing about this, the thing that struck me first, is that it's got this sense of, I don't know how to describe it, realism to it, or this slight hint of brutality, which is very reminiscent of other things Chris Sanders has done, like How to Train Your Dragon. But I guess it's more reminiscent more recently of something like Puss in Boots 2. That it has that adult edge that doesn't take away from it being for kids. I think kids are going to love this, absolutely. But it gives it that for everyone vibe. And that very, you're still going to love this film when you've grown up, kids, kind of thing. That, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of, ironically, toothless films out there recently that are animated films that are just not, they're not going to hold up in 10 years' time when the kids watching them grow up. They're going to be like, And there's a lot of films like that, and it's fair enough if you want to make a film like that, but realistically, the best animated movies are like this. They've got this sense of hurt that makes them somehow more lovable and somehow more emotionally powerful. It doesn't feel like this film was really about much at first glance. You know, this robot finds a forest, she raises this kid. That's like the first half, and then just kind of the second half is about everyone learning to love her. It's very much an animated version of something like Doc Hollywood, which is just Cars. Cars is just an animated version of that. It's like if Cars was better. It's about this community learning to accept this outsider who doesn't really fit amongst them but wants to. And it's about how good deeds can ripple out and be this beautiful thing that brings together a community. It's about parenthood, motherhood. It's like this beautifully woven tapestry about all these different things, and yet it's not like it's hiding those beneath the surface by any means, but it is, I don't know, it feels like it's got less on the surface plot than a lot of animated movies, and yet is so much better than almost all of them. Inside Out 2 wishes it could be this emotionally mature and emotionally powerful. It feels in a lot of ways not so much like a film DreamWorks would make. It feels more like a Ghibli or Pixar film. Yeah, it's the best Pixar film made in like a decade, and it's not even a Pixar film. I love this movie in a way I didn't really believe possible. It was plastered the best animated movie of the year on like every poster. I thought it was overhyped. I thought it had to be overhyped. I thought there's no way that this can live up to these expectations. Maybe I'll enjoy it the second time I watch it, but the first time, I'm going to be let down. No. And it didn't take long for me to feel like, no, actually, okay, hold up, this is something special. Like, it happened quite quickly at the beginning, and then it really held on to that for the entire film. This is such a wonderful, heartwarming film. Can't recommend enough that just everybody checks it out, because honestly, I didn't believe going in. I thought I was setting myself up to be disappointed, and I still am just gobsmacked, totally struck by how wonderful, lovable, adorable this film is. It feels like you're watching a classic, like be set, which is really hard to do, and it's hard to like take yourself out of it enough to realize and think, whoa. This is something I'm watching right now in the cinema. But I felt it this time for sure. Like, this is a true generational moment in the animated genre, because how often do we get an original idea that hits this hard and is this immediately beloved? I don't feel like it happens anymore. to this kind of extent. But I'm giving WALL-E, if he met animals instead of plants, 4.5 stars. That robot was wildin'. It do be wildin'. It is just, yeah, like, it has its similarities to WALL-E, but it's not. It's nothing like WALL-E. WALL-E was like a love story. This is a love story between a mother and son?